Hi Year 10, so we're going to talk about equation of a line today. So we have these formulas in our back pocket, slope or gradient, distance and midpoint. So we may just use the slope one today. Okay. So we probably want to find an equation of a line. This is an example of a line, okay, not particularly straight, but it is a line. How do I distinguish that line from any other line? So if I were to draw another line here, how would I distinguish these two lines? Now you can see that they have similar slope, so just saying the slope of the line won't help. But we need to think about what other differences they have. So a definite difference here is where they cross the y-axis is different, and where they cross the x-axis is different. Remember, this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis. So in order to tell a line from a different line, we use that fact. We can use the slope and where it crosses, and they just pick the y-axis. Where it crosses the y-axis as the two things that distinguish lines. So you can tell a line apart just by the slope and by where it crosses the y-axis. Okay. So how do we write that though? Okay. So you could literally write the slope is 2 and where it crosses the y-axis is, well in this case, also 2. So you could write that out longhand, but we don't do that mathematically. We have, because they're x's and y's, we can form an equation that can tell me any point along the line. So it's the set of x and y points that has a slope of 3 and crosses at -4, the y-axis. So this -4 tells me that this line, which isn't drawn here, it's got a y-intercept, crosses the y-axis at -4, and this number in front is its slope or gradient. So it's quite a steep line that goes up 3, it's going uphill 3, and it starts at -4 down here. So if I were to continue this particular line starts, or goes through, sorry, -4 down here, and has a steep slope of 3. So for every 1 it goes over, it must go up 3. So that'll be the next point. Once you have 2 points, you can draw that line. So there it is there. That is that line. Y is equal to 3x minus 4. So all the points, x and y, that have a slope 3 and a y-intercept at -4. And that's a positive slope, it's going uphill. Okay, and that is where this equation comes from. Y is equal to mx plus c. And that is the equation, the general equation of a line formula. You just replace m with the slope and replace whatever c is with what the y-intercept is. And then that is your line. So it'll always have x and y in it, but m and c will be replaced. C stands for constant or y-intercept. Okay. So let's find the equation of this line. Alright, so y equals something x plus or minus something. Okay, so that's going to be the slope, and that's going to be where it crosses the y-axis. Now, I can replace this. I know that this line goes through the y-axis at 2, so I just put, and it's positive 2, so I just put +2 at the end. Okay, that's half the job done. I do need the slope of this line. So I've got 2 options to get the slope. I can either pick 2 points, so that would be 0, 2, and that would be 3, 0, and use my formula. Or I can use my triangle. I'm going to use my triangle. I form a triangle, a right angle triangle, anywhere, because the slope will be the same anywhere. So there's a right angle triangle. The distance from here to here is 2. The distance from here to here is 3. So I have a right angle triangle too. So it's rise over run. So the slope of this line, it rises 2, it actually goes down 2, and runs across 3. So it goes down, remember, it's the negative slope. So the slope of this line is -2, because it's gone down 2. For the 3, it's run over. And it's -2/3 is the slope. And that's it. That's the equation of this line. Y is equal to -2/3 x plus 2. So the y-intercept is 2, the slope is -2/3. So often, you are given an equation of a line and you're asked, well, what is the y-intercept and what is the slope? So for instance, here's an example. Now, unless it's in this form, written like this, you can't read it until you get it in that form. So if I just had, and it was written as y is equal to 6x minus 7, well, that's in that form. So I can just read it straight away. 6 is the slope, and minus 7 is the y-intercept. Done. This one's not written like that, so you have to rearrange it. So how do I rearrange it? Let's like solve an equation for y. So if I have 2x here, and I want to get it over to this side, I would subtract 2x from both sides. What happens? 2x times 2x, I'm left with minus 3y is equal to minus 2x plus 6. Okay, so the 2x has moved. But I don't want minus 3y, I just need y on its own, just y on its own. So that means I have to divide by minus 3, because that's minus 3 times y. Do the opposite. So if I divide by minus 3 on this side, I must divide by minus 3 on that side. Everything. That goes into that once, so it is gone. So, y equals, well, minus 2 divided by minus 3 is just 2 over 3. The minuses will double negatives will cancel each other out. And 6 divided by minus 3 is minus 2. So what is the slope of this line? 2/3. And what is the y-intercept? Minus 2. Now that's about as difficult as it's going to get. So that's just a bit of algebra skill. Remember, to recap, this is called y equals mx plus c form, the equation of a line. So if you look for the equation of the line, you have x and y in it. You must have the slope and the y-intercept where it crosses the y-axis. If it's already written like that, you can just read the slope and the y-intercept off it. If it's not, you need to rearrange it using algebra to get it into that form. Remember, you can get it off the graph as well by drawing a triangle anywhere. It doesn't have to necessarily be where I've drawn it. Anywhere along that line would give the same thing. Now I've drawn it here because it's easy to count units. So that's 3 and that's 2. They're easy to count. That's why I did it. If I made it a smaller one here, yes, that unit would be 1, but this is actually not quite 1. So I'd be starting to deal with decimals. It's actually 0.75 here, and that's messy, so that's why I did whole numbers. But I give you the same slope. Alright, do ask me any questions you need to on the Google Hangout. There's a worksheet for you to do on this, and that must be completed for Monday. You'll also have a few maths tasks coming up, so check that one out. Alright.